Okay, so we are talking about Don Smith again because it's still an unsettled matter as long as there are people attending his group. You need to get out. Today's session that I reviewed, which happened last night, Friday, he did something to you spiritually. And it wasn't him, it was the demon that he's channeling. I warned you about this. I showed you concrete proof that he had joined himself with an evil spirit who is opposed to God, directly opposed to God, who was mocking Don by getting him to go into the book of Revelation and change a word in the Greek. Don doesn't even know Greek. So why would he do that? That spirit certainly had motivation, because that would then bring the curses on Don. It would also make him a false prophet because he started saying that God appeared to him in a dream and it was an evil spirit. And God said this and God said that. And now that evil spirit has taken over him. And the session I watched today, he put that evil spirit in many of you who are attending his group. I'll show that in the next video in detail. I will show where Don Smith is using these tactics like illusionists and magicians use in order to distract your attention while doing this demonic thing to you. It's very crafty. It's not Don Smith. Don Smith doesn't have those skills. But that spirit does. And Don Smith gives himself over to the spirit. In fact, during the time when he's praying, you can see him get into a position that those who channel spirits, we're talking about magic arts, who channel spirits get into this position, and he backed off into this position exactly, palms down on his knees, his head back like this, his eyes, everything. Everything, including that evil smile on his face, that all, without exception, all of those who channel evil spirits get. Then he proceeded to prophesy, not from God. And you say, well, why not from God? I just told you why not. Because he's joined himself to an evil spirit. He's not hearing from God. He knows the scriptures very well, and that spirit certainly does. So they're using scriptural things and painting pictures for you, and out of 10 things, there'll be one thing that'll be thrown in there that's not scriptural, and that is trying to cause you to go astray. We'll show that in the next video. Now, as for him proclaiming that they are being attacked and persecuted, every false prophet who has ever lived, including Jim Jones. You know Jim Jones in Jonestown, where he planned long before he went there to kill everyone. That's right, 900 so people he murdered. He caused them to take Kool-Aid with poison in it and die. Even he, all of them, say that they're being persecuted. They use exactly the same lines, that they're being persecuted. Now, consider this. Don was not being persecuted. Don is still not being persecuted. And neither are the members in that group. None of you are being persecuted. Tell me, have any of you been beaten? Have any of you been imprisoned? Have you? For believing in Jesus. Have you been beaten or imprisoned? If you have, it's been by someone out on the street. Maybe police has harassed you. Well, harassing you, you'd have to ask why. Oh, well, you didn't have a permit to preach the gospel, did you? Did you? You didn't have a permit, and you're trying to cause trouble with your bullhorn. And the police said, no, you cannot do that right now. You don't have a permit. Ring a bell? 4th of July? Yeah. You were disobeying Jesus. How could I be disobeying Jesus? I'm preaching the gospel of Jesus, and I'm going out there with courage to do that. But you're disobeying Jesus. Bible says that you are to submit to every authority instituted among men, because the authorities are appointed by God. Romans 13, go read it. Read it and obey it. Stop making excuses to worm your way around the commands of God and do the commands of God. Those of us who do the commands of God are righteous, not you who have your imagination that you can worm your way around any command of God that you wish in order to do your evangelical culture, which is unbiblical. You find ways and invent ways to disobey God. And Don Smith is teaching you that and putting that spirit in you. And you need to run away. I'm warning you again, you may still have a chance. You may still have a chance. If you run now. After what I saw that he did last night to you, and you can hear it in what he says, while he's in his trance channeling the spirit, that wicked demon spirit that he fornicated with. While he's doing that, that power of that spirit is being put in you. And you are going to be possessed. You'd better run. I'm warning you again. I have had a lot of experience, direct experience, face to face with demon-possessed people. And you will not like it. It will devastate your life. You think your life is devastated now? You have no idea. You had better run. Don Smith keeps playing games in order to try to keep you to stay. It's us against them. It's us against them. Oh, Sister Bridget. We were all on the edge of a cliff, and Sister Bridget was in the middle of the air, and this miracle happened in the dream. That's not a miracle. That's a dream. Oh, but it was from God. No, it wasn't. It wasn't from God. God does not back up evil spirits. God does not support people who are overtly opposing him, like you and your group, Don. You are disobeying God. You are teaching them how to disobey God. And then claiming you're righteous and that, oh, you cannot go anywhere else. You cannot go anywhere else. Oh, that's all the world. Everyone else is of the world and evil and sinning. No, that's not true. There are those of us who are not. There are those of us who have stayed faithful to Jesus and not Don Smith. He has not. He has fallen over a year ago and is documented in my videos. And I've downloaded each video from his channel that documents it. You want to see it? You can go to his channel. You can look in exactly the place in exactly the video and listen to him say these things. If you see something in one of my videos that doesn't have a timestamp link down below in the description, ask me. I'll find it. I'll give it to you. You can go ahead and go and look in a video on his channel if you don't believe when I play you a clip from his video. No problem. I hope that you do. Please ask me. I will give it to you freely and you can go and you can look. But if you don't, you hate the truth. You do not love the truth. And Jesus said, I am the truth. And you hate Jesus. If you will not check out these videos about Don Smith, you hate Jesus because you hate the truth. You are unwilling to listen and see for yourself. You're like this, la 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 la, just like those who stoned Stephen the martyr. You Don Smith and your group are like those who stoned Stephen, the first martyr. You plug your ears and you yell at the top of your voice like Don Smith. So you don't have to listen. When a leader who is a commissioned leader in good standing in the church and with Jesus Christ, filled with the Holy Spirit of God, corrects Don Smith, and you, I'm talking to all of you in his group, get around and defend him, you fall under the same guilt as him. You had better get out of that group and stop attacking the husbands. I don't know who you are, what your name is, Cecil or something like that, when you stood up and started attacking Rory. You shameful man. You shameful man. How dare you? Shameful. You should break your heart before Jesus for that. You shameful man. Don, I've nothing more to say to you. But the rest of you, you had better flee.